Once I saw Stefco, I was seriously thinking about switching majors and going to some other pointless one like philosophy or something.
Big dog. That's not just me. Okay, good.
But no, I think we're all scared. We're all scared once we saw Stefco. So that's why I wanted to do this for you guys, so you guys realize that Stefco is actually somewhat easy once you get rid of the fear of subnetting. And so hopefully that's what I'm doing for you guys. And you know how I said each subnet was 50 hosts in the first one? That's class-full subnetting. Classless subnetting isn't a set amount of hosts that's the same exact way. So, like, for instance, a classless subnet would have been, subnet A was 50 hosts again, subnet B would have been 40 hosts, subnet C would have been 10. That's what classless subnetting is. So, let's go ahead and do Stefco. So, switch to him. He wants Yakima to have 68 hosts. Richmond, 36. He wants 15. Wenatchee wants 10 hosts. Prosser, he wants 8. And he gave us an address of 172.18.4.0/24. Right. So that's the network address. That's the address to the house that Mr. Apperson wants us to have, and he wants us to divide into 5 smaller networks. And so these are the amount of hosts that are going to be in each one of those houses or networks. So let's go ahead and look back over here.
Now, Matt, I think it'd probably be a pretty good idea to mention to everybody right now that you want to go largest to smallest.
Yeah, you always want to go largest to smallest. That's actually out of order than what Mr. Apperson gives you on the piece of paper. So it always helps if you go largest to smallest. And another key thing too is, you know how we use /25, /26, /27? One thing I wasn't too clear about when I first started subnetting was I didn't realize you can use those over and over again. You can use the same subnet masks for different subnetworks. I thought that one of them was going to be /24, so the next one had to be /25. The next one after that had to be /26. You can use all of them as /26s or /25s. It doesn't matter. You can always use the exact same one. So that's one thing I was a little caught up on at first. So let's go ahead and go to Yakima. The ones reserved for the network address, or the address and how to get to our house, the host. The broadcast address. Okay. So he gave us the network address 172.18.4.0 subnet. So the first one's going to be 172.4.0. He wanted us to have 68 hosts. So again, using the key, which one of those is going to support 68 hosts?
128.
128. So it's going to be a /25. Okay. Next one is Richmond. Richland is going to be 36. Which one of those is going to support 36 hosts?
24.
64. So, you see that 64 is /26. So just for reference, okay. So all we have to do is say, okay, /26, 64, since it's 36 hosts, and that's what's going to support it. And also, we wanted to find the network address. Do you remember how to do that? Again, you go back to the Apple one, you see that /25, so you can use 128. So what's 0 plus 128? 120. Okay, there you go. Next one is Ellensburg. With 15 hosts. I hope you guys realize, like, I'm not even subnetting, I'm basically just asking you guys for help, and you guys are doing it for me. So, Ellensburg's 15 hosts. Actually, before we figure that out, let's go ahead and figure out the network address for it. So Richland was 36 hosts, right? And you guys told me that that's the one we're going to be looking at. So, to find the network address for that, how are we going to do that?
Add.
192 plus 64.
Yep. So 128 plus 64 is 192. The next one is Natchez. And 10 hosts. Just for reference. And Wenatchee requires 10 hosts. So which one am I going to be looking at for Wenatchee? And how did you come up with that, Mr. Jenkins?
32.
Yep. And you guys got how we did that? Basically just looked at here, okay, so this one's a /27, 32 hosts. So to find the next one, 192 plus 32 equals 224. This last guy, processor. 8 hosts. And remember when I said a little bit ago how you can use the same one? It doesn't have to be consecutive at all. So considering that that's 8 hosts, which one would we be looking at? Remember, we got to have 2 addresses reserved for the network address in the broadcast.
16.
So 16, exactly. So last thing is question in hand. And then considering that that one was a /28, also because it's 10 hosts, what's 224 plus, since that's /28, we're going to go up to here. What's 224 plus 16?
240.
240. And There you go, you just found out the network addresses for each one that you guys are gonna need for STEPCO. Yes, the broadcast address is always gonna be the last usable on there, so it's always gonna be the one that's before the next network address. So, 172.18.4.127. Okay. 172.18.4 dot, what would be the next one? 191. And then what's going to be the next one?
123.
What's that?
123. 223.
223. And then,
239.
yep, 239. Like I said, the last one's always a little tricky, so you kind of have to make up a pseudo network just for the next one, a network that doesn't exist. So since we saw that this one's a /28, we just got to reference that right there and say, okay, so 240 plus 16 is 256. And so the last broadcast address is going to be what? There you go.
The last step will be the last step for make it so cloudy.
Yeah, doing it this way, you just bypass everything. Well, you bypass binary, which I hate converting to binary. You shouldn't have to. And that's the reason why I did this, because it's a lot easier. I kind of stole half of this from Dalton's way of subnetting, the magic number. I just made it a little bit easier, just because you can use this key as reference. So for the hosts, I'm not going to write out the 172.18.4.0 or .4, since you guys already know that. So what's going to be the next one? .1?
226. 126.
Okay. Dot.
190.
You guys getting it?
Yeah.
91.
What's the last one?
25.
Next one?
Okay.
241.
254.
And there you go, guys. You just completely subnetted by hand STEPCO. Even in the STEPCO project, what he originally asked you for is to do it through a VLSM calculator, because, I don't know, maybe he feels like it's a little bit too hard for you using the way that he teaches you. So hopefully with the way I taught you, you can see how it's actually pretty simple to subnet. Just by using that key, the only kind of math you really have to do is having this 128, and then just adding 1 to the /25, and that's it. Other than that, you're literally just using it as reference. Yeah, okay, it was a /25, so we just reference that. Originally that was a /26, so we just reference that, and so on and so forth. And that's basically it for subnetting. If you guys can subnet these addresses, you guys can subnet anything that any of the teachers are going to give you, because basically this one was actually made to make sure that you guys actually know subnetting. And also, like I said, if he wants to use VLSM calculator, you guys will need to. So, listen. Do you guys have any questions at all? I hope I didn't lose anybody at all. You guys got it? Sweet. All right. So good job, guys. I didn't even have to submit anything. You guys just did it for me. So yeah.
By the way, before everybody heads out, us four up here have all done STEPCO. We all got, at least me and Matt got 100% on it, and another 100 here. So if you guys need help on it, or if you want somebody to look over your stuff, come on down to Sunquist. We're usually down there. Just come flag us down. We can have a look at it and give you guys a hand.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
Get worse.
Yeah, Mr. Epson tries to make it sound like it's impossible to get 100. From the way he told us, we thought nobody has ever gotten 100. And yeah, all of us, except for Goofy, got 100.
How do we get a hold of the club? Is there a Facebook address, something we can hold the club at?
Oh yeah,